All right, Peg, back over to you.
Okay. So how was that for everybody? Did you hit some golden opportunities for stages, or was there none to be found today, or that you haven't found any yet? Or what do you think of the concept?
I love the concept. I didn't find any yet, and the time goes so fast, man.
Well,
But I'm hopeful.
it's like what we do, we pan for gold. So you have to sift and sort, and that's part of the process for sure. Are you
I have
exercise? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, Peg, I just wanted, this is an area that I'm just crazy about. So thank you so much. Excellent training and encouragement. I'm so excited, but I did share this with Cindy, but in March, I think it was, I decided I wanted to start interviewing. I'm an artist and a jazz musician. And a lot of the musicians and artists and people in the theater and, all that are really struggling financially. And the culture is just, we're all suffering from just being apart from each other and not having a crowd to perform for. And so I decided I would start these interviews. And in fact, you can find it on Facebook. It's called Cats Coffee Talks and Coffee Talks. And I interview artists and musicians and writers and poets and thespians. And actually, Thursday, I'm interviewing someone who does stage set design. And I've interviewed Peter Rivera, who is the original lead singer for Rare Earth, and a lot of some big name people who have agreed to just come on for 30, 40 minutes with me and talk about what they've been going through the pandemic. And then it opens up an opportunity for me to talk to them and their fans about financial struggles, and it really has been a great door opener for me. But my intention was more just about community. But it's amazing how when you really put your heart out there and you are really passionate about something and you really care about people and you just step out in faith and just do something without putting your ego on the platform, but really just, I want to serve, how that just opens up doors. I'm gonna start crying. It just opens up doors of opportunity to really make a difference. So thanks for the opportunity to share that.
No, I think it's fantastic, Kat, and it's so interesting because the person that I'm going to be on her podcast is actually an actor. She's a singer. She's a performer, and that's part of what the deal was. I think that might have been a reason why she started her podcast, was because she wasn't able to work, right? And so her podcast, usually she's interviewing financial people, spiritual people, people in the music industry. And you can learn so much by listening to these different podcasts too, and access people and where they're at and where they're coming from. So my hat's off to you. I'm so excited. I wrote this. I'm going to find
Yeah, check it out. It's video, so it's a Zoom thing. So it's you get to see the vision. Well, it's the arts, you need to be able to see their work. And at the end, I do a little slideshow where I show, if it's art, I show art. If it's music, I show them on stage and overdub their music. And it's a passion project. I've really had fun. It's really lifted my spirits during the pandemic. So.
Absolutely. It touches into that creative aspect, and that's what gives us life, to tap in there, find a way to be creative and share that. So important. So critically important. And, the other thing that I found with this woman is there's an opportunity beyond the initial interview with her, because she has a segment of time where she has, this is going to be interesting tomorrow, because she's got a financial guy talking before me, 30-minute interview with him. He's an entrepreneur. He's going to talk about entrepreneurship. And when I chatted with her, she said, Peg, why did you reach out to me? And I said, well, I think there's probably a whole group in your audience that don't understand different ways of making income, the residual versus the linear. And so I want to touch on that a little bit. I've also got her on product. She's been using the product. So she's ready to talk about the effects that the product has had on her. But here's the thing that's cool. After my half-hour interview with her, she's going to have the financial guy come back in to kind of critique what he heard from me. So that'll be interesting. And then there'll be question and answers from people, 15 minutes of that. And she's like, if it goes really well, I may put you in the rotation to be one of the experts that are on her podcast. But here's the other thing that was exciting to me, you guys. Her podcasts are used throughout the country, but also broadcast in the UK and Germany. So in that one land, in building the relationship with her, there's been an opportunity that I think could be really, really big, not just for me, but for ASEA, for getting it out there into a community that is not as, we don't have very many people in this community. So I'm pretty excited about it. Here's the information on it. It's going to be on p.c.podcast. That's, you can find that on Facebook. And if you see this little address up here, the anchor, that's literally where you can access the promo that she did with me. But it's on tomorrow from 12 to 2, and 12 to 2 is Mountain Time. So it's 2 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. It's 11 to 1 Pacific Time. But it's also recorded, I believe. So, you can go in and find it there. But I just think it's a real opportunity for us to access and touch a lot more lives. So that's
Such an important conversation. And I love the way you guys are thinking, because you're thinking about about a leveraging concept, instead of moving ahead one cell at a time, one person at a time, which is a really slow way to move forward. And, we start to run out of time, you're really thinking about, well, if I'm going to invest a half hour or an hour, I can talk to one person, or I can talk to multiple people in that same time frame. And so you're really leveraging the concept of leverage and, putting your message on a bigger stage so that more people hear the information that we're teaching about in the world. And so, when you think about moving your business ahead, leveraging the concept of multiplication as opposed to the concept of addition, you start to create that momentum, that wind underneath your wings that start to take your business so you don't feel like you're pushing that heavy rock all by yourself up the hill.
right. And, I love the fact that she took every single one of my social media deals. And remember too, you guys, thanks Cindy for that, because what we're really doing is it's a ripple effect, right? There may be people that listen to this podcast that go, not for me, but boy, for Uncle Sam, this might be good. Or for Mabel, my neighbor, who's all of these different things. So it will have, I hope, a ripple effect. But right, we want to break 100 dozen cookies, right? Not one cookie at a time.
Peg, did she
So-
spell your name wrong? Does your
Yeah,
name
she did. She got that's corrected on her later promos. The other thing I want to explain, if you listen to this little promo interview, she's saying that the interview is on May 5th. Her mother died in the process of the time between the promo and when she is actually doing this. So there's a couple of confusing pieces in there. She didn't redo the interview, the promo interview. So yeah, she's got, it should be coats, you guys, just like you wear when you're cold, no E. That's corrected on a later one. I should have not.
Hey,
showed this
one other plug is that there is an app out there called Clubhouse that is really, leveraging this whole concept of people having conversations, strangers from all over the world having a mutual interest in a topic, and then getting together on Clubhouse on an app on your phone and having a conversation about that topic. So you might want to check out that app as well.
Clubhouse, when I first started, was only for iPhones. So I'm not an iPhone person. Just FYI, I don't know if they've developed an Android platform, but just FYI on that one. The other thing that you will experience with this podcast is she does have an ad at the beginning, and her ad is for Anchor, which is an app that again allows you to create your own podcast. So, Anyway, that's the training for today, you guys. I hope that it's been useful to you, and I hope that you have an incredible Tuesday and a great continuation to this week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peg. Great training. Appreciate it.
You bet.